from a small company perspective, let's say we're in your first in class, not second in class bucket. Why partner with Lilly, and what would be the upside for the startup?
Well, I think for every startup, one have to think strategically where you would like to place your startup. Are you going to go through all the stages of the development and in the end really commercialize your product, or you are more focusing on a kind of on the research, and you would like to stay in the research and rather give a big pharma to develop further. So I think every entrepreneur would ask this question first and then decide whether to partner or not and what is the best time. But I think the nice thing with Lilly is that we do offer all the different kind of partnerships, starting from the in-kind contributions where we produce a vital tool for a company, let's say, and antibodies, with the right to look at the data later on, ending with the full in-licensing into our pipeline. So, and we do have some different means of helping the company to grow. So we are working with about 15 different venture funds as limited partners, where we can, if the technology is a little bit risky for us at the moment to license it fully into our pipeline, we can de-risk or work with our venture funds to help this company to grow into the point where you'll be a part of the pipeline. So there are different possibilities where we're working. The other thing, we have a department which is called Chorus, and it's a kind of a little biotech within the Lilly, which we use as a development arm for many companies we're working with, which helps you to progress faster. So we hope I answered.
Christopher, do you have any?
Yeah, I'll follow on from that. Yeah, reasons for is, and we discussed it actually at breakfast just before we met here, is the brand that maybe a big pharma partner will bring. So you might have an early project, you might do some validation studies and help validate your data set on particular animal models or pharmacology that you may not have access to. We might be able to publish that in terms of the public domain, and that then carries forward, in this case, the AstraZeneca name and brand to help you with additional products that you might be bringing forward. One other point that is the manufacturing side, and often we get small companies come through where they might have a great molecule, it might need further optimization, which we can help with as part of the partnering process, and then look for more large-scale manufacturing so that we can bring it into the clinic and bring down the cost of goods that make it actually even more efficient for the small company, depending on how we structure the deal in the first place. So yeah, manufacturing is one, and then of course the clinical development arm that really adds value that maybe a smaller company just can't get into that space, recruit and upscale what they have.
Yes. So I think that we have three companies which have a lot of similarities between Lilly, AstraZeneca, and Novo Nordisk. Certainly, one of them is we are three companies with a strong focus on cardiometabolic diseases, and which is actually for Novo Nordisk the only focus we have. And also we have three companies with still a very large R&D organization. So we're very scientifically anchored, I think, the three companies. And I think this is one of the advantages that a small biotech can have in collaborating with a company like one of these three companies, is that we can really provide a lot of scientific advice, but also we have scientific understanding, and we can help bring an innovation further down the road towards validation and towards development because of our expertise, and also because not only in science, but we also have expertise across the whole value chain, including CMC, as Chris mentioned, but also safety, clinical development, interaction with the authorities. So I think that being in contact with a pharma company, even though you are not completely ready to partner, can help you shape the direction of your company to get faster to a point where you will have more validation. because the pharma industry knows that the machinery and all the value chain. So I think that being in interaction with pharma can help you choose a direction for the company and also develop faster. And I think that's true for Novo Nordisk, but for many other companies, we are always happy to interact with biotech and to discuss your project. We have many very enthusiastic scientists that will always love to discuss a good idea or a good technology. So I think there are many good reasons to interact with pharma, even though you are not completely ready to partner. And also, as my colleague said here, I mean, we're also very flexible in the type of interaction, and we can certainly always provide advice and in-kind. We are just setting up an open innovation platform in one of our research centers in Beijing, in China, where we can offer our platforms. For instance, we have the authorization platform to biotech to help them bring their technologies further.